Greetings, Star Trek Fleet Commanders. I am the Angry Rhino. So, Picard arc, the first one, ended yesterday at reset. So, I was kind of thinking about doing the grading, if you will, yesterday, but figured, give it a day to see some fallout or whatnot. Think about what I want to, There we go, tongue tied already. A few minutes into the video. Try to figure out what I want to say. Pretty sure I'm there. So let's get right down to it. Talk about the officers to lead off with. Picard, Admiral Picard, does seem very good if you're on an Explorer and you're fighting an Explorer. Let's go find his... Where the hell ever else he is. So you can take a... That's the wrong Picard. Too many Picards. Let's go. Where the hell is he? There he is. See his captain ability. He's going to get you morale. That's pretty good. Really good chance to get morale. It's not, a perfect chance because it's not 100%. It's 90%. That's wonderful. Officer ability is what I really don't like. Admiral Picard increases your weapon damage by such percent, increases with tier on combat start against a player explorer. Okay, so you don't have to be on an explorer, but you have to be fighting an explorer. But I mean, it's a good officer ability if you're fighting an explorer. I'd rather it be if I was on the explorer. It's just too hard to make sure your opponent is an explorer. You don't know what they're going to have. So I'm not a huge fan of that, though it is a good ability if you're in the right instance. The name. Can't stand a name. Pick Admiral Picard. How about just Admiral Picard? Why do we need a pick in front of the name? That's dumb. However, let's go find Beverly. Where is she? Weird seeing her without her red hair. Officer ability seems kind of nice. Increase the crit damage when you get hit by a non-armada hostile. I mean, I guess. I mean, if you got Hugh below deck, which it really only works if you have Hugh below deck, because what do you care about your crit damage increase unless you got a crit chance increaser? But at the same time, putting Hull Breach on would probably work better. Might be some other combinations, like say Gorkon as captain with Khan on the side and Beverly on the side, but then there's no defense. Then you have her below deck ability. Increase the amount of broken parts from killing hostiles 10% at tier 1. Sounds nice and all, but I'm not too excited about the officer for two reasons. Number one, right off the bat, broken. Didn't work. Took him at least a week to fix her. Meanwhile, still offered in stores. Okay, I mean, I get you want to make your money, but can you fix the stupid officer? How about you make sure she works before you, release her? However, but at the same time, I don't really care too much about this below deck ability because when you need broken parts, you're mostly going to be in a 4-star ship or higher. One thing they don't have is a lot of slots below deck. So you slot her in there, you're only getting a 10% increase. I mean, 10% is nice. Tiers up to 20%, then 30, then 40, then 50. But if you don't hit your crew bonuses, you're still going to get less per hull. So why is she better? However, wasn't too. I mean, the sourcing was kind of bad. You bought your $20 battle pass. Guess what? You may not have gotten her. All right, let's go to the events. I mean, not the events, missions. I don't pay too much attention to the missions, but I thought they were stingy with the officer shards, especially the rare shards like Beverly. Kind of ties into the officers. They didn't get sourced that well. The epic, I completely understand. The rare, that's bullshit. You pay $20 for the battle pass. Like, you got to get the rare. Between the battle pass, the events, the missions, you got to be unlocking the rare. Otherwise, what the hell are you buying the battle pass for? And you can tell that the idiots running this game found out their mistake, because what's coming up tomorrow? Another leaderboard with a milestone attached that's going to have Beverly shards in it. It's like the morons didn't count. You didn't count how many shards. So, based on that, I'm going to say thumbs down on the officers. Missions get a, in the middle, because I don't really care that much about the missions. Except when they don't source shards. Events. Yeah, brought a drink this time. I know I just covered it with the officers, but usually there's a bunch of events that source some of the officers in the month. At least the rare one, anyway. Didn't seem to be that many. Seemed to be a lot of other officers. The old Picard. The old Next Generation crew. Lower Deckers. Like, what? Ugh, burp on take. While I understand that you wanted to take some time in this arc to rehash some of the old stuff, you still got to source some of this new shit. Otherwise, what do we care about the new shit for? However, and again, during a month, it seemed like there were days where there wasn't much going on. I mean, I'm okay with it. You don't want to make people feel like they got to be on the game for 10, 12 hours a day. But at the same time, you could have thrown like another event in there somewhere. Especially since you finally realized you didn't source enough Beverly shards. So, could have added a few there. Oh, that's what I forgot. Knew I was forgetting something. And why is an absolute thumbs down on the officers? I mentioned it for Picard. I totally forgot Beverly. I hate her name here even more. Pick Beverly Crusher. How about just Beverly Crusher? How about Dr. Crusher? Dr. Beverly. Since this is a rehash of the Next Generation, or a wrap up, if you will, Dr. Beverly seems kind of fitting. However, all right, back to the events. This was in a video, I don't know, week ago or so, or however many it was. With the Exborg research and the faction tree There was a leaderboard behind it. Happens all the time. Makes sense. You had one right off the bat. Most of the free-to-play hadn't unlocked a lot of the things yet, which is fine. You know, you have one right up front. That's for spenders. Encourages them to spend money, and, you know, so you can compete in the event early. Early access, if you will. But then free-to-play opened up the Exborg research a lot more at the start of week 2. Is that when you had the second leaderboard for doing Exborg research? No. You made the free-to-play either wait longer, a whole week, because the second leaderboard ran at the start of the 3rd week. You made free-to-play wait a whole week to really get into doing their Exborg research, or you screwed them over because they used all their currency at the start of the 2nd week when they had opened up for them. I'm all for favoring spenders and the bigger players, but there's a difference between favoring big players and screwing over the small and free-to-play players. You can favor one over the other and not screw over the other guys. I mean, that's kind of what I was saying with Picard. You need to figure out how to favor all your spenders and your big players, but not screw over the smaller end of free-to-play all the time. Because it seems like what you're doing now. Let's screw over all the little people in the free-to-plays for the sake of the big spenders. Well, to me that just says, if you're free-to-play, stop playing this game. We don't want you playing this game. However, man, I mean, you really got to have some free-to-play in here. And you got to want them to be in this game. Otherwise, they'll just stop playing. And all your ads and your commercials that say, play for free, sign up for free, or however, now becomes what? False? You have to go shoot more ads and remove the whole play for free now. So events, thumbs down. Features. Really 2 main features here. The mess hall and the Exborg faction with the research. I'm not a huge fan of the mess hall. Oh, let's go find it. Oh, let me put this miner on a note. It is Mining Monday after all. Yeah, sure, that looks like a good node. Now, they did make some changes. They did increase the numbers. You can see on the side here. If I remember correctly, they added weapon damage, which doesn't make sense to me. It seems like a better addition to make, you know, the mess hall more better. Yes, I said more better. Would be to add a daily drip of badges or officer XP. Levels count now. Levels matter. Levels matter now. Well, we got to get the levels. You got to promote the officers. You got to put the levels on them. Why do I want extra weapon damage from the mess hall? Yes, I get it. It helps. But at the same time, there's a lot of research and other buildings. Like, say, this one doesn't offer damage, but it does offer hull health mitigation. So that helps you in your hostile grinding. And it does help you in PvP also. What is this dumb one? It's still at 14. It's Hall Health. I mean, that helps with your hostile grinding. That helps in PvP. You got your shuttle bay over here. There's some weapon damage in there. What's this other dumb one? What is this? What does this give you? There's an officer stat boost. So there are buildings that give you increased damage. I think what we could have used more of was officer XP. Badges, really. That's really what I'm hurting on. I don't know where you're at. Comment below. Do you have a shit ton of officers that are ready to be promoted, but you ain't got no badges for them? I got lots. I don't know where you're at. So, I've already done a video on the mess hall. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm just kind of recapping and taking a long time doing it. The Exborg faction and research. Now, there were a few events. These spend leaderboards did gift you, get you. Yeah, I mean, I guess that could kind of make sense. Depending on where you placed, you got extra reputation and some credits and such. See, I'm at 9,000 already on the reputation. Comment below where you at. I have done my sweeps, my swarm sweep, my Romulan and Klingon sweep. So all in all, I really like it. You got ISO, research efficiency, add more protected cargo to your Meridian. Swarm sweep, which I just told you about. Swarm refinery, I'm kind of interested to see. 500% for the first round of the research, 5 rounds of it. It's biominerals, not biotics, biominerals. The old school little orange or copper ball or whatever the hell that thing is. The older one for the Franklin, not for, the Franklin A. So it's not going to be that much, but multiply it by 5 when you do it. Sounds like it could be worth a lot more than it has been. Research cost efficiency, material cost efficiency on components, material cost efficiency on research, mining speeds, more hull fragments for your mantis in the refinery there, more venom junk, more warp speed, more mitigation, more piercing, more shields, more hull, increase active nano probes, whatever this thing does, increase base rogue research cost efficiency for research credits. Oh, I mean, it sounds nice, and if you're just getting into the Stella or you're a lot less further along than I am, I'm sure it's very good for you. It's going to be very good for you. I'm maybe 90% done with the Stella research, which leads me to think the Stella is coming soon. Not the Stella or the Stella A. The Stella! I made it funny. Parts here. It's a prime, but see, I got it. It's pretty nice. Not super fan of it being $100, but however. The attrition thing, so you lose less. So, I'm kind of liking this Exborg faction. I'm not too much a fan of this stuff in the Borg store. Mainly because, like I said, I'm almost done with the Stella. I don't care about data. I mean, I go mine data. I don't care. I'm never gonna buy this one. I'm never gonna buy that one. I don't know where you're at with your Talios, but I'm doing fantastic grinding. I go hit the 46s and I can get 1.3 to 1.4 million a run in like 10 minutes. I have no reason to buy this. Meridian. I mean, it's just raw stuff. I mean, I don't really want to spend my credits on that. I'm not sure that this will ever be worth it. I mean, it is nice that it's more of a supplement if you get to the point where you don't want or can't do any more of these researches. I mean, I guess they're nice. I like the idea of this antimatter unit, but 8,000 is nothing. Go over here to Bajarin and see how much... Oh, I turned it all in already, didn't I? Well, can't even see how much I want. But my 3 chest, which is what I do every day, wants 42,000. What the hell is 8,000 going to do for me? Nothing. I'd rather go farm the things and get my triple chest. 73,000 of this mantis junk doesn't seem that good either. But all in all, I think the idea of it is nice. And as you can see, there's only 6. So it's a very small store. There's a lot of space, at least on a PC client. Look at all this empty space down here. And even in the research tree. Empty space here, here. Like why did they design it like that? Empty space here. Look at all this. These two are just kind of hanging out here. So it looks like there's opportunity to expand this even more, which sounds great. You give you a lot of useful researches, some potential useful stuff in the store, maybe, depends on where you're at, with what looks to be planned space for it to grow. So, yeah, I'm really liking the feature, and this is the arc overall. Yeah, that's right. I spent the whole video mostly talking about how I didn't like this and how I didn't like that. Well, I'm sorry, but the Borg research, this Exborg research, kind of makes up for all of it. Really, these sweeps. And I know the downside to doing these sweeps, and I'm going to have to figure some stuff out. So I completed all my dailies, all my faction dailies. You know what I didn't do? Faction allegiance. I didn't kill any faction hostiles. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But with room to grow in the research tree, is it possible that this could be added soon? It sure looks like that it could. Will it? Who the hell knows? All right. Do some of this. You're going to sit here and watch me do some mining for a while. Nah, I'm just joking. Gotcha, didn't I? So I'll conclude with this. Officers kind of sucked. Missions I don't care about. I think the events sucked. For the most part, anyway. There were a few good ones, but mostly they sucked. And I wasn't a fan of the mess hall. But the Exborg research, in my opinion, is just so good. So it completely counters everything that was bad this month. So this is definitely a double thumbs up month. Probably the first one, and hopefully not the last one, but probably the last one you'll ever see me give. Comment below, how did you like this month? Be sure to like and subscribe. I am the Angry Rhino. Shields up, Commanders.